Hello, sports fan, and welcome to Packs for Breakfast All Star Comparison 1992 Upper Deck team against the 2022 Tops team. Basically, every single week, every Sunday, Chris and I open up live on the channel packs of cards for certain years, and we try to pull an All Star team out of all the packs that we open. So we decided to compare 1992 to 2022, 30 years later. Now, for the outfield was easy. 2022 over the 1992 team that we pulled, easy. Yesterday did the infield up the middle guy, second base, shortstop. That one I would have given definitely the advantage to the 1992 guys. Now you're looking at the third baseman and first baseman, the hot corners. So this argument might be a little tougher, but I still think I know which way I'm going to lean. So first we'll talk about the 1992 guys. We'll talk about Fred McGriff. 493 career home runs, 284 batting average, 5-time All Star, did get a World Series win in 95 with the Braves, and did lead the league in home runs for a couple of years. He also played 19 seasons. Fred McGriff was, we've talked about him before, one of the best first basemen, I think. A little bit underrated, doesn't get talked about as much, but ultimately a great player. I think recently got into the Hall of Fame. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think recently he just got into the Hall of Fame. Deservedly so. His numbers are incredible. He, great teammate, the whole bit. It's funny, this is his Padres thing, and it's got that really terrible rendering of I think at the time it would have been called Jack Murphy Stadium. But next to him, he was the first baseman we pulled. Next to him is Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs, one of the best third basemen to ever play. Played 18 years, only had 118 home runs. Not a lot of pop in that bat for playing for 18 years. And just say this, he played 18 years more than Arenado, but he does not have as many home runs as Arenado does. But Wade Boggs' career batting average, 328. He was an incredible hitter, 3,000 hits in his career. He had 2 Gold Gloves, 1 World Series championship, and he was a 12-time All Star. Wade Boggs is nothing to laugh at. He was an amazing third baseman for the Sox and for the Yankees. I didn't root for him as much when he joined the Yankees, but I never really root for anybody when they join the Yankees. They're 30 years later counterparts. Now you got to figure when these guys might have overlapped. Pujols and Boggs and McGriff, they could have overlapped because Pujols played for 22 years. He played for 22 seasons. He retired in 2022, but what an amazing career this guy had. 703 home runs. Only 4 guys have hit over 700. I think it's Ruth, Aaron, and Bonds and him. For a home run hitter, his career batting average is 296. He also had a couple of Gold Gloves. He was 3-time MVP, had 3,384 hits, most of any of the people that are on this list. He also was an 11-time All Star. This 2-time World Series champion as well. Amazing career. One of the best hitters, one of the absolute best hitters, one of the best players to ever play in baseball. No argument. Of course, is his Dodger card. I love how two of my favorite players in Boggs and Pujols have their cards for 2 of the teams I wasn't really a fan of them going to. But I think that wasn't his last year because the 2022 cards would have been based off of the 2021 season. But Pujols, those numbers, easily, once he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, he'll be first ballot. If he's not unanimous, something's wrong. He should just be a unanimous. He was obviously one of the best hitters to ever play, and even a really good fielder. So he just did everything really well. And then next to him, Nolan Arenado, former Colorado Rocky. Nolan Arenado. Now, I was always an Arenado fan. When the Rockies lost Arenado, I was very upset. We traded him. We traded him for nothing. Although Gomber hasn't been terrible. I mean, Gomber was okay last year, especially for pitching a lot in Coors Field. He was fine, you know, around a 5 ERA. He was okay. It's just the bullpen for the Rockies was awful. But Gomber is fine, but he's not, he's not a future Hall of Famer like Arenado. And if you think that Arenado's not going to be a Hall of Famer, this is what he's done after 12 years. 341 home runs, 285 career batting average, 10 gold gloves, 8-time All Star. 3 times he's led the National League in home runs. Now, last year he had a rough season. He only hit 16 home runs, batted .272 in 152 games. So he had a rough year last year. I'm hoping that's not, he's always been a little banged up. So I'm hoping this is not going to be a trend going forward where maybe he's now on the downside of his career. I'm hoping last year was just kind of an anomaly and he won't have another year like that again. But when you look at Arenado with Pujols, you're looking at over 1,000 home runs between them. Arenado still hasn't won a World Series yet, probably won't. Chris does not think he is a game-changing type player. He's not a player that's going to lead you to World Series. He's more of an individual player, not as much a team player. I don't really see it that way, but so far it's proven that he didn't make the Cardinals better. He didn't make the Rockies really good either, but he is a great individual player. Time will still tell if he ever gets the team around him to get him to a World Series. But I do think that Arenado has a real chance at 500 home runs. He's going to have to get back into his home run hitting of around 40 plus a year, at least get 30 something, because it's like he's only 159 away from 500. So you get yourself 5 seasons of 32 home runs a year. You should be able to knock that out. And he is, year 12, you're still technically in your prime. So I'm hoping he has, some bounce back in him. But Boggs, one of the best third basemen to ever play. McGriff, one of my favorite players of all time, up against Pujols and Arenado. This one, it's close. This is the closest it's been so far. But if I had to choose one set of these players, I'm going with the 2022 guys. I'm going with Pujols. I'm going with Arenado. To me, you've got the one of the best gloves at third base to ever play, and you've got one of the best players in Albert Pujols to ever play. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the 92 guys would be better, or do you agree with me that the 2022 guys are better? And that's All Star for now.